It's your cardinal, the bright red male, the one with the small notch in his crest, the one who's been coming to your feeder all spring. At 8:05 on a Sunday morning, you step out your back door to fill the feeder, and your whole yard empties. The cardinal is gone. The chickadees scatter. Every bird, in a single breath, vanishes into the trees. You froze. You didn't make a sound. You did nothing, except one thing. You walked out wearing your favorite shirt, and to every bird watching, that shirt did something you would never expect. It didn't just catch their eye, it set off an alarm. There is one color, one that a lot of your backyard birds are wired to fear. Wear it, and you turn from a friend into a threat the instant you open the door. I am going to tell you which color it is and the strange reason it terrifies them. But not yet. First, you have to see your yard the way a bird sees it, because their world holds colors yours never will. Stay with me. Most people think birds barely notice what we look like. A vague shape near the feeder, that's all. They have never been more wrong. Birds may see color better than almost any animal on Earth, far better than you. And they are reading you, your shape, your shine, and above all your color. Every second you are outside. So the shirt you grab without a thought? It can be the difference between a yard full of birds and a yard gone silent, and almost nobody knows it. You can do everything else right, the best feeder, the best seed, and still empty your yard in a heartbeat, just by what you pulled on that morning. Subscribe to Backyard Bird Whisper before you leave, because what you're about to learn has changed the way thousands of people see the yard outside their window. Here is where we are going. You'll learn how birds see colors you can't even imagine, a whole hidden band of light invisible to human eyes. You'll meet the birds in your yard reading your clothes right now and what each one is looking for, and you'll discover the one color that doesn't just stand out. It screams danger in a language birds have spoken for millions of years. That last one is the reason your yard goes quiet the second you step outside. Let's start with their eyes, because a bird's eyes leave yours in the dust. Here's a fact that should stop you cold. A bird sees more colors than you ever will. Let me put that in plain words. You have 3 kinds of color sensors in your eyes. Most birds have 4. That one extra sensor opens up a whole new world. Birds see ultraviolet light, a band of color that is completely, permanently invisible to you. Flowers, feathers, even other birds glow with patterns and signals you will never see with your own eyes. 2 birds that look identical to you can look completely different to each other. One blazing with ultraviolet markings, the other plain. They live inside a richer painting than we will ever step into. Their eyes were built for a brighter world. That comes from decades of research on bird vision, studied at places like the Cornell Lab of Ornithology. So picture your bird looking at you. It is not seeing a soft, dull human. It is seeing you in sharper, richer, brighter color than you have ever seen anything in your entire life. Now stop. Think about white. White reflects nearly all light, including that ultraviolet you cannot see. To a bird, a white shirt does not look soft. It blazes. It flares like a beacon. You think you are wearing a calm, neutral color. Your birds think you lit a flare in the backyard, and it gets worse than just being bright, because of what white means. To see why, look at how each of your birds reads color. Start with your cardinal. That brilliant red is not just for show. For a cardinal, red is a report card. The brighter and deeper his red, the healthier he is, the better he's eating, the stronger he stands. Females read it. Rival males read it. A cardinal's whole life is written in that color. A dull, faded male struggles to find a mate. A vivid one rules the feeder. To a cardinal, color is not decoration. It is status, health, and power, all at once. So your cardinal is a color expert. He has to be. He spends every day judging other birds by their exact shade. A bird that precise about color does not miss what you're wearing. Not for a second. Your cardinal reads color like a language. The next bird reacts to it faster than you can blink, because your chickadee runs on a hair trigger. That tiny bird survives by being nervous. It has to be. It's a mouthful of food for a dozen predators, and its only defense is to flee first and ask questions, never. A chickadee can spot a threat and be gone in a fraction of a second, faster than your eye can follow, and it watches the whole flock for cues. One bird bolts, they all bolt. One flash of alarm, and the feeder empties. So, a sudden bright shape at the back door? Your chickadee doesn't wait to learn if it's friendly. It's already 3 trees away. And here's the hard part. The chickadee that flees fastest is the one that lives longest. Hesitation gets a chickadee killed. So nature built it to panic first and never second guess. Your chickadee reacts on pure instinct. The next bird sees something you physically cannot. Look at your blue jay. That blue is one of the great tricks in all of nature. There is no blue pigment in a jay's feather. None. The color is built from microscopic structures that scatter light, bending it to throw back blue to your eye. Crush that feather and the blue is gone, because it was never a color in the feather at all. It was light, shaped by structure, a trick of physics living on your bird, and to a jay's own eye with its ultraviolet vision, that feather is doing even more than you can see. Jays are corvids, sharp, suspicious, endlessly watchful. A jay clocks every new thing in your yard and files it away. A new feeder, a new sound, a new color on the human at the door. Your jay sees more than you do. The last bird turns color into a weapon. Meet your junco, the small, slate-gray bird that shows up when the weather turns cold. Watch one closely the next time it flushes. The instant it takes off in fear, it flares 2 bright white feathers in its tail. A flash of pure white. That flash is no accident. It's a signal, an alarm. It tells every other junco the same thing in an instant. Danger. Go. Now. Across much of the bird world, that sudden burst of white means one thing. A predator. Run. And you're about to find out what that has to do with your shirt. Because the color your junco flashes to scream danger is the exact color you have been wearing into your yard. Here's the twist. Remember what I promised at the start? The one color and the strange reason it terrifies them? Here it is. White. And the reason isn't only that white is bright. It's what white means. In much of the bird world, a sudden flash of white is the oldest alarm there is. Birds flash white feathers, in their tails, in their wings, at the exact moment they spot a predator. It's a warning. It says danger louder than any song. Your junco does it. Mockingbirds do it. Bird after bird after bird. White means run. It is older than any of us. Long before there were feeders or windows or people, a flash of white breaking from the brush meant a predator had bolted into the open. The birds that ran, lived. The ones that didn't. That instinct is still burning in every bird in your yard. Now, here is the part most people get wrong, and it matters. It isn't the white alone. A white fence post stands in the yard all day and no one panics. It's white that moves. Color loads the alarm. Movement pulls the trigger. A still white shape is just there. But a large white shape that suddenly steps out a door and moves, that is the exact thing a bird is built to fear. The flash, the motion, the size, all at once. So now picture yourself, stepping out the back door, head to toe in a white shirt. You are not just visible. You are not just bright. You are a large moving flash of the single most universal danger signal in the entire bird world. With your whole body, all at once. Every bird that sees you reads the very same message. Predator. Alarm. Flee. You thought you were being calm and neutral. You were screaming, "Run," in a language you never knew you were speaking. And the worst part? You do it every time you walk outside. No wonder the yard goes silent. So, let me tell you what this really means, because it is good news. Your birds were never afraid of you. They were afraid of a signal, a color, a flash their instincts simply could not ignore. The bird doesn't hate you. It can't even see you under that alarm. All it sees is danger. And the moment you take that signal away, everything changes. Wear the right colors, move the right way, and you stop being a threat. You become part of the yard, furniture, scenery, safe. And then something quietly extraordinary happens. A wild animal with every reason to fear the giant shape at the door decides you are not that giant shape anymore. It lowers its guard. It feeds while you stand there. It lets you close. A cardinal that trusts you enough to stay. A chickadee that lands while you're still in the yard. You earned that, just by understanding how they see. The bond you've wanted with your birds was never out of reach. It was hidden behind a shirt. Think about what that means. The wall between you and the wild was not fear of you, the person. It was one wrong signal, sent without you ever knowing. Take the signal away, and the wall comes down on its own. That is not nothing. That is actually quite extraordinary, and it cost you nothing but a change of clothes. So here's exactly what to do. 3 changes, and you will feel the difference this week. 1. Trade bright for earth tones. Swap the white, the neon, the bright reds and yellows for drab greens, soft browns, gray and tan, the colors of bark and leaves and dirt. To a bird, you stop being a flare and start being the background. You vanish into the yard in the best possible way. 2. Kill the shine. It isn't only fabric. A shiny watch, a glinting phone, mirrored sunglasses, they throw sharp flashes of light, ultraviolet included, that birds read as sudden movement and threat. Tuck them away near the feeder. A dull, matte human is a calm human. 3. Slow down and sit still. This is the one that matters most. Remember, color raises the alarm, but movement pulls the trigger. So walk slowly. Pause often. Better yet, sit in the same spot, at the same time, each day, dressed in those quiet colors. Within days, the birds stop seeing a predator and start seeing a fixture. They'll feed inches from your hand. Birds trust patterns more than almost anything. A predator is unpredictable. A garden chair, with a person in quiet green who arrives every morning and barely moves, is not. It becomes part of the world. 3 small things. Quiet colors. No shine, slow and still. None of them cost a dime. Together they take down the alarm you never knew you were raising. And let your birds finally see the friend under the shirt. So picture next Sunday at 8:05 when you step out to fill the feeder, this time in a soft drab green. Your cardinal, the red male with the notch in his crest, doesn't bolt. He looks at you, and he stays. No flare, no flash, no alarm. Just a calm, quiet shape he has seen 100 times. Remember the junco, and the white it flashes as a weapon. It uses that burst of white to startle a predator and warn its flock. A tiny signal that means danger. For years, by pure accident, you were firing that same signal across your whole yard, every single time you walked outside. Now you're not. The yard looks the same. You aren't. And your birds can finally tell the difference. Subscribe to Backyard Bird Whisper, because the most extraordinary wildlife on Earth is not in a jungle or a nature documentary. It is 12 feet from your kitchen window. Before you go, one more thing. Tomorrow morning, just before sunrise, every bird in your yard is going to start singing. But not all at once. They sing in an order. The same order, almost every morning. One species, then the next, like instruments coming in one by one. That order is not random, and once you learn what decides it, the dawn outside your window will never sound the same again. That's next. I will see you there. Tell me in the comments. What color do you usually wear out in the garden? Be honest. I read every single one. These are the stories I carry longest.